This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. As it moves forward with a 15-year, $285 million modernization plan, Crane Army Ammunition Activity is looking to bolster its roster of public-private partnerships. Crane's business development manager Tom Pesky said the move is part of an aggressive business model to create synergies within current munitions production.
By having a government facility like Crane Army Ammunition Activity partner with commercial industry, it allows us to utilize our skilled workforce, our facilities, our equipment to be able to provide certain munition types very often faster, and it allows greater flexibility to the DoD.
Crane Army Ammunition Activity produces conventional munitions in support of U.S. Army and Joint Force readiness. Pesky said that while he can't go into details just yet, the response to the push for more industry partnerships has been strong, and discussions with several defense companies are ongoing. The Indianapolis City-County Council on Monday approved a proposal to launch an independent investigation with subpoena power into sexual harassment allegations in the Hogstead administration. The council overwhelmingly approved the proposal, which authorizes an investigation by an independent firm with no ties to city business. It also creates an investigative council committee. The outside firm would recommend any policy changes in the city's human resource practices. In the week since news reports revealed allegations against former Hogstead employee Thomas Cook, other reports of sexual harassment within the Hogstead administration have come to light. The city on Wednesday fired Department of Metropolitan Development Administrator Matt Pleasant after an internal investigation found overwhelming evidence of inappropriate sexual misconduct. The Indy Star has also reported allegations of sexual harassment against former Metropolitan Development Director Rusty Carr. Carr last week resigned from his position with the Parks Alliance of Indianapolis. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, we'll dive into each region's unique challenges and distinct opportunities for growth. 9 regions, 1 goal. Indiana's bold future starts here. Discover more and register at ibj.com/engage.
Elkhart-based Patrick Industries, Inc. is adding another company headquartered in northern Indiana to its portfolio. The company announced it had acquired Bristol-based Icon Direct, an e-commerce company that does business as RecPro. Financial terms were not disclosed. Patrick Industries did say RecPro's revenues for 2024 are estimated at $80 million. Patrick said RecPro will continue to operate under its existing brand name and in its current facilities. The Orr Fellowship, named for former Indiana Governor Bob Orr, is expected to include partner companies in the Evansville region for the 2025 to 27 cohort. College students graduating by May of 2025 can apply for a 2-year fellowship in Southwest and Central Indiana.
We put together a presentation and talked to the Orr board and I think convinced them that, we're willing to put our actions where our words are here and create the environment that is going to be one that's going to succeed.
That's Pete Paradossi, president of the Evansville Regional Business Committee. He said 15 businesses, including Old National Bank, Toyota, and the Deaconess Health System, have signed on to offer fellowships to the inaugural class. Orr Fellowship began in the Indianapolis area more than 20 years ago with a focus on tech companies and later expanded to include other types of businesses. The Evansville Regional Business Committee was behind the push to add Southwest Indiana to the program. Indianapolis-based Scannell Properties plans to redevelop an airfield on the east side of Indianapolis as part of an industrial park with 10 buildings comprising nearly 1.5 million square feet of space. The project, tentatively named the Post Road Airport Business Park, would cover more than 130 acres, much of its fronting on the north side of the CSX rail line north of Brookville Road and between Franklin and Post Roads. According to documents filed with the Metropolitan Development Commission, the area will feature an assortment of buildings ranging from just 40,000 square feet to nearly 300,000 square feet. A total cost for the project has not been disclosed. Auto dealership leader Ryan Rohrman is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast hosted by Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Mark Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.